you can't underestimate the Davante Aaron connection from Green Bay. They've played together for a long time and have had a lot of success. And both of those guys are older now. You recognize that, but they both can still play. And I think the confidence that Aaron will have in him because of their time together will be significant. Time on task matters. And the reps they have, particularly with a guy like Aaron, we talk about some of the things they do with their offense and hand signals at the line and looks he gives these guys. He's been doing it with Davante for a long, long time, and they clearly have mutual respect for each other, mutual admiration, and it's easy to see why. Look at these highlights. They've had so much great success together through the years in Green Bay, so that will certainly give the Jets a shot in the arm.
All right, and let me tap into your head coaching experience, because you do this trade. Let's say you're coaching the Jets. Davante Adams comes to town. You got Garrett Wilson, the young star, the offensive rookie of the year a couple of years ago. What do you say to him when he feels like the third wheel to the Aaron Rodgers BFF reunion tour between Davante Adams and Allen Lazard? He's not going to get his targets, maybe the number that he would like. What do you say to him to kind of unruffle any feathers about him feeling like the outsider?
Well, the first thing you do is you reaffirm why you make all decisions. And it's something you've been talking about from day one. Everything we do is in the best interest of the team. This isn't for Aaron Rodgers. This is for the New York Football Jets. We're making this decision because we think it's going to help us as a team. And so hopefully if you have the right guys on your team, they recognize that and they understand that. And Garrett Wilson's a hell of a kid, and he follows football. He knows how good Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers have been. So I don't think there's any doubt. It's not a hard argument to make to a guy like that. And the big thing for him is the more weapons you have, the better it is for you. And I make this point all the time about when you have balance on offense. When you can run it and you can throw it, that's great for everybody. It's better for the runner when they're playing coverage. It's better for the quarterback and the receivers when they're down around the line of scrimmage. And so if you're another receiver or a tight end or a back and they have to deal with Davante Adams breaking the huddle, ding, 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 ding. They're rolling the coverage over there. I got all these free looks over here against a lesser corner, and they're not giving me the attention. Wow, this is the opportunity to really get after it. So we were always at our best in Dallas when we were attacking different ways. We could run it, we could throw it. We could throw it to Dez, we could throw it to Beasley, we could throw it to Witten, we could hand it to Zeke, hand it to DeMarco. All of that when you're coming out of the huddle and you got all these guys, and we talked about it last week with pick your poison, right? Mark Andrews saying, hey, the Baltimore Ravens offense is about picking your poison. And to be a part of that, to be a play caller in that, to be a player in that, it's like, wow, here we go. What are you guys going to try to stop? Because we have confidence in all our guys and we're going to get after you. Whatever you do, we're going to aggressively take what the defense gives us. And it's a fun offense to be a part of. I think it's an easy argument to make.
From the defensive side, how do you deal with Adams and Wilson? Which guy are you more likely to double? Do you put your best corner single on one and double the other guy? Do you just try to get more pressure on Aaron Rodgers before he can get the ball off? Just what's your knee-jerk, how in the world would I deal with this challenge of Rodgers, Wilson, and Adams?
I don't think it's one of those, when you played against Randy Moss, it was Randy Moss, we're going to roll the coverage to you every single snap of the game. We're going to play 65 snaps of defensive football against you. We're going to roll it to you every time. We're not going to let you beat us. I don't think it's that. But each of those guys gives you reason to say, we got to give this guy some attention. And depending on how they use them, I think you're going to have to watch him a little bit and say, okay, is he in the slot? Is he inside? Are they stacking them up together on one side? Are they putting them on opposite sides? Are they motioning to a stack? How are we going to do all this stuff? And so I think you got to watch them and see what they're going to do. I think with Todd Downing, and they showed some of this last week, I don't think they're going to be static. I don't think they're going to come to the line of scrimmage and line up in these formations. I think they're going to continue to move a little bit before the snap, get in some different formations and attack different ways, which adds to the challenge. If you know the guy's always lined up on one side or this guy's lined up on one side, it's easy to say, okay, here's the coverage. We're over here. We're going to double this guy with the safety. We're going to double this guy with the inside guys. Okay, we got that. But if they're in different spots and you don't know where they're going to line up, it becomes a different challenge. I don't think it's an every snap type deal. I think you have to Rolodex the defensive looks. The other thing is, we talk about static and movement and formations and all of that. If you remember, Marvin Harrison, when he played with Peyton Manning, lined up in one spot every single snap, and they were pretty good. So, you and I have had this conversation too. I do think adding some juice and some pre-snap movement will help the Jets, but they've done a really good job, in some of those static formations as well. So I hope they don't lose that either, because they've had some success through the years doing that.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.